Before we get to August 3rd, I felt like we had to cover very quickly Derek Chisora and Joyce.
Derek Chisora.
Oh, man.
And
Both of these guys, had a hell of a career. Hell of a career. You had a good run. Hey, man, that was a great retirement.
I felt like I was
night.
watching you last night, bro.
Me too. I felt like I was watching. Anthony, get the hell out the ring, bro. Both of you. Anthony Jr. and Sr.
That gave me sentiments of like the oldest old school heavyweight boxing that you could see. Like the punches were slow, but they were still hitting each other.
They were bad intentions, especially
Yeah.
Chisora.
Chisora.
Yeah.
Over.
9th round knockout, right?
Knocked down.
Well, knocked down, but
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
And in the 8th, he almost got dropped, Chisora.
Yeah.
I just like saying it like the
But he-
Derek Chisora.
And he just be looking light on his feet, but
At all
really,
times.
really, I wanted to cover this because I felt really exemplifies one thing that we talk about on the PorterWay Podcast when we talk about athletes and their health. Both of these fighters have taken enough punches for a lifetime, and we can see it by how the impact of the shots, the effect that it has on them round after round, punch after punch, and it's really just, boxing is really like worn both these heavyweights out.
They're almost like they're both a shell of themselves.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It was just like we got the names in the ring.
Who's more of a shell of themselves out of them two?
Joyce. Because his trademark was his punch resistance. And that's not what it once was.
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't have went down against Chisora before
2
the
years
Shang
ago,
fights.
3 years ago. Yeah, he would have never
Probably
went down.
eats those.
Yeah, yep. So, that was, and to your point, that was my main thing. Like, I just want you guys to understand that, this is heavyweight. That's a different kind of punch. But at the same time, we're looking at two heavyweights that have taken a lot of damage and just cannot stand up to a lot of the stuff that they used to stand up to.
I'm going to give Derek Chisora some props here because we don't know how much longer. Knowing him, though, he'll probably keep fighting.
Yeah, I got a feeling.
Stubborn.
I got a feeling.
He put it best. He said, this fight will probably end in us having less brain cells. That's him saying it. Right? So he, and he is a nut job, Derek Chisora.
Yeah.
But I want to give this man some credit because you mentioned this was like an old school heavyweight fight. He's an old school heavyweight. He's the size of an old school heavyweight. He fights with bad intentions like an old school heavyweight. And he reminds me a little bit, I'm not saying he's quite as good as these guys were in the 90s, but like Razor Ruddock, Michael Dokes, Ray Mercer. These were dudes, in the bottom of the top 10 who weren't going to win the title, but they fought everybody, and they gave a lot of guys hell. His fight against Usyk ages really well. He gave Usyk his hand. Usyk will tell you, that was rough, fighting Chisora. So, I just want to give him a shout-out. He reminds Burt Cooper. These were guys, you probably saw some of these guys.
Michael Dokes.
Burt Cooper.
Mercer.
These were tough dudes that would give the champions or some guys on their best night their hands full. And he's a throwback to those guys, and I think that's a good compliment.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely.